Hey, what's happening? So this scan today is going to be about finding the big, meaty movers during the day. It's going to give you opportunities for potential breakouts, breakdowns, and some mean reversions, bounce plays, everything. It gives you the overarching theme of what stocks are moving today. So stay tuned. With that being said, what we first need to understand is ADR. I like to use ADR. It just presents potential opportunities. So ADR stands for average daily range. I use the 14-day ADR. I use 14 because it's a little bit more relevant to the current price action in the past 14 days. So the scan I'm going to show you is based off the 14-day average daily range. What is the average daily range, right? So that is essentially how much a stock moves. A stock opens up at $100 and just skyrockets to say 120. That daily range is 20 points. Okay, a point is $1. Now, typically a stock won't just open up and go up. It'll actually wick down or wick up and so forth. So the calculation subtracts the high versus the low for the past 14 days and then averages them together. So when a stock exceeds that range, so let's just say the range is $1. Low is say 10 and it's at $12. It's at 200% of its average daily range, right? So it is outside of its normal price action. Now you have to understand in the market, everything is calculated on averages essentially, right? So we're going to be looking for things that break out outside of averages. And part of the reason you want that is because that's where the opportunities are at. You want something that makes a big move, you can find a specific level, and then you can enter the trade based upon your other parameters. Otherwise, if it stays within that range, it's just going to most likely go like this and potentially chop you up and not give you a high probability asymmetrical risk reward. Back to TC2000. I primarily use TC2000 for all my scanning, most of my scanning. I also use Thinkorswim as well, but it's not as robust and it's not real time. I'm going to jump in and just show you what I use to find movers and potential plays for the day. So I use the easy scan function. I'm going to type in ADR 14 100%. And we're going to bring this to a new filtered watch list. Step back and go into the parameters on this actual scan. So basically this is the code right here that dictates what the average 14 daily range is and then what the current range is for today. So here's the code, if you want to pause it, for the average daily range of the past 14 days. And then this is today's range, and then you divide them, and if it's greater than 1, you know that you're at 100%. So anything 100% on the average. There's some other parameters I like to include. So for instance, it's above $10, closes greater than 10. The average 5-day volume is over 750,000. That way it just cleans up your scans, doesn't give you a lot of junk in there. And also another current liquidity feature I like is that it had to have at least traded 17,000 shares in a 1-minute bar within the past 3 minutes. And then also the bid-ask spread, that's another big thing. So I like to keep it around 16, and that's true within the past 7 bars. So that way it cleans up and gets a lot of the riffraff out of there for you. And then we'll run that scan, days range percentage. So this will actually show us, let's move that over here. And I'll sort that by highest. And this is the 5-minute chart I have up right here. So we'll sort that from highest to lowest. So SLNO, there is some massive action going on here. I mean, this is pretty rare. You don't see this every day. The biotechs are definitely moving. But this will give you all the stocks that are making extreme ranges today. So 186, 175, AT&T 152, and so forth. So you keep the scan up. I don't like to actually have it on 100% real time because when you're scanning through these it might refresh and pull some away. So I'll set it at 30 seconds or even a minute. You're an intermediate trader and just looking to up your game. This simple scan right here, it just gives you all the action in the market. And as I stated earlier, you can dictate what parameters you want to put in there depending on your liquidity, small caps, large caps, float, the whole 9 yards. So you can kind of boil down your universe of what you'd like to trade. I like to do like the big picture because typically you're not going to have like 200 stocks on this in any given day. It just gives you where a lot of the big moves are happening, and then you can dictate from that. So if you like this, subscribe. I'm going to be putting more stuff out, and we'll go from there. Take care.